I'm going to be restoring this thrifted OMG. I made a video about thrifting this OMG a while back. She actually came with all of her accessories, including her shoes and her clothes and even her little sister. Even the shoe boxes were included. However, her hair had definitely been played with, and because I didn't know where this doll came from, I definitely thought she was in need of a restoration or just a basic wash. I wanted to clean her and all of her clothes, and I also wanted to restyle her hair with curls before putting it back in its default braid style. I prepared a tub of warm water and I started dunking the doll in and washing her. I was going to use my sink, but then that was just dirty and I was too exhausted to even just try and prep that, so I just got a plastic tub and filled it with water. Of course, I remembered to remove her hands and as well as all of her clothes, and then I just started just soaking her, squeezing her hair out, making sure all of her gets covered with water. I was a bit avoidant about the face because the glitter was perfectly intact and I didn't want to mess that up. After soaking her for a bit, I laid her hair out till just her hair was soaking in there and grabbed some shampoo and just started rubbing into her scalp. I dunked her hair into the water, then squished it and squeezed it, then dunked it back in again to make sure I was coating all of the hair with shampoo and clean water. Looking back on this, I kind of wish that I marked out her part line, because if you don't mark up the part line, then the hair can get all mixed up, and it can make the hair actually look bald in some places. When I was finished with her hair, I just decided to add in all of her accessories and her little sister. We excluded the clothes and even the shoes because the shoes have blocking on them and I don't want to mess up any of the outfits. I'm just taking out a Mr. Clean Magic eraser to clean all of the doll's plastic with. I started with the little sister and just gently started scrubbing the outside. Honestly, this little sister didn't look like it was played with at all, so I kind of didn't assume it really needed that much deep cleaning. But if you personally would like to be extra safe, then you could always just remove all the clothes and hand wash each individual piece. Now I'm just cleaning the shoe boxes, making sure I avoid that sticker on the top part of the shoe box. And now I'm just making sure I wash the OMG's plastic and all of the legs and all of the body, and I did kind of gently avoid the face. And after that, she's done. Now I just get a towel and a plastic shopping bag. What I like to do is wrap all the drawing items in a towel and then put it inside the shopping bag and just lay the shopping bag flat somewhere. I did keep the OMG out because, like I mentioned, I want to try and restyle her hair. She originally has a braided hairstyle, but I wanted to see what she would look like with curls. Here she is just being set to dry after I curled her hair. While I'm waiting for her to dry, I just put all of her clothes in this little basket to wash. I added a bit of extra clothes in, set the washer, poured in the soap, and put the basket inside. So for the rest of her plastic accessories, I just kind of went through and started scrubbing them with a slightly damp towel. For the flocking on the shoes, I kind of gently used some tape and just slightly tapped it against the shoe. I don't really know if this works or not, and it's probably not worth the risk, because even though the tape was dull, it could pull off the flocking. I was hoping to remove bacteria, but yeah. But after finishing all these accessories, the OMG is ready for her hair reveal. And here she is. Unfortunately, the curls didn't turn out as neat or tight as I was expecting. It definitely looked a bit better in person, but overall it just looked kind of messy. Here's an alternate style where her hair is styled into two ponytails. But now I think I should try and do her original braided hairstyle. I looked at her artwork. It seems like she has 9 to 10 braids. I also checked out some other pictures of her without her hat to just see exactly where her braids were. It was kind of difficult because the only pictures of her with her braids were kind of low quality and they're only showing the front of her face, meaning I didn't really get a good idea of where the rooting exactly was and where she'd place the braids, but I just decided to go and guess it. Finding out where most of the hair rooting was, as well as referencing the photos, I decided to just tie off each section with a rubber band. This was so I could get a good idea of where her braids were and be able to just switch out and move the hair around to make sure each braid holder was balanced. And now that I've tied them off, it's time to braid each individual strand. Now, I'm pretty bad at braiding, so I apologize if a lot of these seem kind of weird or lopsided. I do plan to redo her hair in the future when I get a bit better at this. Was definitely pretty difficult because of all of the hair, even though I did have it each tied into different sections and I tried to push them away. But still somehow be strands of hair coming into the braid that I was doing, or the braid I was already doing would get kind of frilled and messy, and I think what it would have helped if I had like more brushes and definitely a water sprayer. But eventually I was able to braid each strand and tie them off. And here's how she looks with her full braids. It's a bit patchy in the back, but all 9 to 10 braids are there, and I didn't definitely redo it in the future. But I think for the most part, I got the basic shape, at least in the front. We did clothes, washed, cleaning, hair. What else do we need? Ah, the stand. This doll did come with her stand base, but no actual pole. I tried to use a straw for her stand, but she would just instantly fall over with that. I even just tried to use a plastic knife, but that wasn't even staying in, and I was just so upset at that point. So you know what? She doesn't need a stand right now. I could just make her use a different one from another OMG I already have. But with that resolved and all of her other things taken care of, I think it's time for our before and after reveal. This OMG was just so fun to restore. If it already wasn't fun enough to find her near complete in a thrift store for almost $2, then it was definitely very fun to just clean her up and make her have a new life on my shelf with my collection. I hope all of you enjoyed a relaxing doll restoration, and let me know if you want to see more of this or more of my other content. I hope to see you in the next video.